Welcome to the Ask Faleskini podcast with a guest. I'm proud to present Dr. Veronique Elefant-Yanni, psychotherapist. Veronique, please tell us more about yourself. What is your story?
First, Peter, thank you very much for having me on your show. It's very nice to be with all of you listening everywhere. And my story began when I was at the University of Geneva, and I had the proposition to research on emotion. And after a few months, they decided, no, not emotion, it will be affects. So for most people, they don't know what is affects. And affects is something very short, something like 250 milliseconds, but it's really the fabric of your life. You have an affect, you have an affect, you have an affect, okay? It's what you feel at any moment in your life. Mm-hmm. Emotion is something very long in comparison and also very taxing about the level of energy you need for an emotion, okay? An emotion is like a small tantrum, okay? And it's came very late in our evolution. It's more for display for the social environment, okay? So affect is very subjective, but very true. It's what you live. So I did this research on affect, and I came back to the root of psychology as a science. The founder of psychology is Wundt, and Wundt made his very important research on affect and found the 3 dimensions of affect, which is tension, activation, and proto-representation, like good or bad, but it's more physically. It's something that you feel in your belly, a feeling of well-being or a feeling of malaise. And those are the 3 bodily dimensions of the affect, what you live at every moment, okay? So with this research, I find it was really helpful for people to understand themselves, okay? You remember they say know yourself, okay? Most of the people, they don't even know or didn't take care of the fact they have affects, okay? So it's like the biggest part of their life they ignore. Mm-hmm. But it's not ignored for everyone, because, for example, when you go to the movie, okay, if you change the music, you change the content of the movie, okay? So that means the music is speaking to your affects, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't know, you're not even aware of it. But what the music makes you feel, okay, because an affect is a feeling, what that make you feel is what you live, okay? And if you don't know how you function, other people can use it despite of yourself. For example, for advertisement or for propaganda, okay? So it will be better for a lot of people to understand how they function so they can live for themselves and not be hijacked by another system around them. Okay, so tell me.
Yeah, we have in organ wellness, where this podcast will also be published. We are dedicating the month of July to the synchronization of conscious and unconscious mind. Would you be able to classify this effect as a subconscious effect, or is this a conscious effect, or is this a combination of conscious and subconscious?
Okay, I will say something like this, okay? When you have an affect, most of the time is unconscious. Mm-hmm. But if you stop and feel, it's become conscious because you are taking care of bringing it to the consciousness. But you have to understand, before to be the 3 dimensions, that you can know if you are tense, if you are excited, or if you feel good or bad. First, there is 1 point affect, and this is no time, okay? And after it's like it's blooming in 3 dimensions, okay? But at one point, no time, it's just one affect, okay? So yes, it's unconscious, but you can take it to the consciousness after that. And you have to understand the unconscious is not a big mysterious black box, okay? It's this side of yourself. You have your good brain in your belly, okay, and you have your head brain. The head brain is more representation, okay, and your good brain is feelings, okay. Feelings give you a very lot of information, okay. The monitoring process of the affect is always on, always going on, taking care of catching all the information coming to you, stimuli from inside and outside. Okay, and the summation of all of this is the affect. It's a survival mechanism because the first reason of the feeling is to tell you if you are in a good position or if you are in a bad position. Okay, let's say, for example, you go to a meeting, you open the door, okay? The first feeling you have makes you, oh, it's good, I'm fine, or oh, it's not good, it will be difficult. You don't know why you think so, but open the door, you already know how it will go on, okay? So this is the part of your good brain. You know, sometimes they say, oh, I have this good feeling, okay? Yes, a lot of information comes this way, okay? So when we are born, we only have this feeling space, okay? And when we grow up, we learn the thinking space. We learn the representation, the word, etc. But the feeling space has no words, okay? So we cannot use it to discuss, to have always the small story inside our head, you know? How can I say? The story of our life is in the representation, past and future, but the feeling is always present. So a lot of people now, they say, oh, we have to return to the now, the now, the now. The now is a feeling space. When you do meditation, okay, you go back to the feeling space and your true self. Where is your life energy? Okay? And most of the people today, they learn so well to live in their thinking space, in their representation, that they are alienated to themselves. Okay? Alienated meaning an alien to themselves. So far away of know yourself.
Would you say that they have cut the ties with their bodies, so they are not in their body? When you say alienated, that they are out of their body or that they are not connected to their body, especially when you said that this gut feeling is so important. Would you say that we have to come back in the body and feel our body?
Okay, I will say, I use a different picture. I say you have to build back the bridge between your two space, feeling space and thinking space, which means you have to build back the synergy between your gut brain, and your head brain. Okay, and I have I'm using 4 tools for this, which can be useful for anyone. Okay, so the first one is the 3 breathing. Okay, second one is green walk. Third one is small pleasure every day. And the last one is 20-minute meditation every day. Okay, not more, not less for an adult. For a child, it could be 10 minutes, depending of the age, okay? But for an adult, 20 minutes. And I will advise not to do more, okay? Because 20 minutes, if you stay to 20 minutes, you will be able to do it every day. If you try to be better, okay, let's say 30 minutes, very fast, you will not have time to do it. Okay, so better safe than sorry. Okay, 20 minutes every day. It's like you breathe. Okay, like a shower for your mind. But you have to understand, well-being like this, it's like homeopathy, small dose. When you finish your session of 20 minutes, you feel good, okay? Serene, relaxed, and everything, okay? Your true self is positive, okay? And it's serene. Proof, otherwise everybody will jump from the bridge, okay? We always have these stories that tomorrow will be better, okay? So yes, and you know, sometimes people jump from the bridge to save their true self, okay? So it will not be touched by something bad, okay? Mm-hmm. So true self is really where we have our life energy, okay? So now, if we speak about what happened for some people is they alienated themselves from their true self, they live in their head, okay? But at the same time, they cut the bridge from their life energy. So they are in a kind of depletion of energy, okay? They can make burnout, but they also can have the feeling of to be a zombie in their own life, okay? Walking in a tunnel, okay? I'm not present in my own life, okay? I don't have joy, I don't have pain, but I mean, nothing happened, okay? But often they have this feeling of, I'm a fraud, I'm not worthy, okay? And one of the things I discover is most of the people, they cut the bridge between their feeling space and thinking space because they had a lot of anger. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand how it's works. First, when we are born, you know, if our mother is not mentally available for us, for example, in a postpartum depression, okay, she's not available for us. The feeling of the baby who cannot live or survive without this person taking care of him, okay, it's like I'm abandoned, okay, my survival is in question. So he has a big anger, and with the whole power of the baby, if he is going in a big anger, he will destroy the world, kill his parents, okay? But he doesn't want to kill his caregiver. So what he does, he tries to control the anger, keep it inside and control the anger, okay? And when he grow up, it's like he has a monster anger inside, okay? Always trying to control it, okay? So, because if the monster anger is triggered, it will be a big tantrum, but at the same time, it's like you lose control of yourself. The anger manipulates you, okay? You are not in control of your own action and words. You know, very often we have an argument and we say, oh, I regret what I said and everything, okay? Because the anger manipulates you. It's not you in control anymore. So you have this big monster anger inside you, and in fact, you are afraid of yourself, okay? So if you are afraid of yourself, you cannot trust yourself, okay? You cannot trust your gut feeling. And thinking, understanding, is a way of control. So more and more you want to control, you want to understand, and you leave your feelings and you go in your thinking. And at the end, you lost in your thinking. You lost in your head. Okay? So there is no juice anymore because you cut the bridge. So your life energy is not going to your head anymore. And it's like a real depletion of vital energy. So this is how you go from very small to a grown-up without life energy and without understanding your own functioning, lost in your head. Okay? But if you diffuse the anger with the tools I mentioned before, if you can trust yourself a little, you begin to love yourself, okay? And you get to this self-confidence. And with this, you have psychologically independence. You don't need the validation of someone else. You can trust your own opinion. And this is maturity. Okay? But most of the time, the people don't take the time to know themselves. Okay? So they run after the carrot that the system presents to them, like money, career, and everything. And they believe they will fulfill their destiny through this. Okay? But they come to me and say, I don't know, I'm not worthy, I feel like a fraud, what can I do to have more confidence in myself? Okay? Or I'm in a burnout and I don't know how to go up again.
Mm-hmm. So the real reason for burnout is not that we work too much, is that we are cut from our emotions and that we deplete ourselves from the life energy.
Yes. But you have to understand, when you begin to understand how you function, okay, maybe you don't need to work so much also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because the not worthy, so I don't need to take care of myself. I don't need to do the things I like. For example, one of my patients, she liked to dance a lot, okay? But for years, she refused to herself to go to a dance class, okay? And after, when she succeeded, she was so happy, she found herself again, okay? But for years, it's like I sabotage myself, because you have to understand the second dimension of this model. When you have the monster anger inside you, you are a bad person. So you need to punish yourself. So you sabotage. Okay? So nothing is good for you. You can spend a lot of money for gift for other people, but not for yourself, because you're not worthy. Okay? So this is the second dimension. But when you begin to love yourself, to trust yourself, okay, the monster anger disappears. You have no anger anymore. You just surrender, okay? So you have more clarity for decision also what you want to do in your life. Like maybe work is important. Yes, I like my career, but I truly prefer to spend more time now with my husband and my children, okay? Because this is what is important is in life. The people you love, okay? You know, a lot of husbands, they spend a lot of time at work because they say it's for the family, okay? It's for the family. But at the same time they do so, they lose their family because they put so little time with their children and wife that they become a stranger, okay?
I have
So
two questions.
why do you want to work? Sorry?
I have two questions now. One, I
Yes,
believe, is
please.
the most important. Can we go from the monster anger to, let's say, Jung would call it the way of individualization? Can we do it alone, or do we need a psychotherapist or a partner to do it with?
Okay, I will have the answer for you. I prepare a small book for my patients and friends who are interested that you can download freely on my website. Okay, I will give you the name of the website at the end of the show. So with those tools, okay, you can work on yourself. You can diffuse and diminish the anger until you befriend your own anger. Okay, you have to face it. You know, it's like in Star Wars when he has to go in a grotto, okay, and face himself. The same here. You have to face yourself, okay? So diffuse your anger, okay? You have to come back to the present time, okay? This is very important. Not lost in the past, not imagining the future, present. So 3 breathing, walk in the green. Okay, green is very important for us. Forest bath. This is a good example of how important it is for us. A small pleasure every day, because I'm worthy. So yes, small pleasure every day. Be present. Appreciate this small pleasure. It can be coffee, ice cream, 5 minutes on the phone with your friend. But be present. Appreciate. Don't drink your coffee. I'm not interested in you drinking coffee. I'm interested in you being present, appreciating your coffee. Okay? And the last one, meditation. 20-minute meditation. Begin with guided meditation so you can work alone on yourself. Okay? Maybe it will be done for you. Maybe it will be good enough. Okay? Or maybe you still have something very painful inside or very difficult to face, and you will need someone to hold the map. Okay? You are driving, I hold the map. Okay? I don't have a magic wand, but if we work together, we will go it from one point to the next until we finished. Okay? So yes, you can work on yourself alone. And if you feel at one point, okay, I cannot do it alone, so come for help. That's it.
So can we now conclude that the main driver behind burnout is this monster anger? Are there any other issues that we need to consider when we're talking about the burnout?
Okay, most of the people when they arrive, they deny their own anger. Okay, some of them they say, "Oh, I'm not angry, I'm sad." Okay, but you have to work a little more, and suddenly, yes, I'm very angry. Okay, you have to understand there is mostly 2 kinds of people. The first one, they are rebel. Okay, anger is very easy for them to understand. But some of them, they are submissive. Okay, submissive because they were broken when they were younger. Okay, so they submit just to survive and be in peace. Okay, submissive are much more difficult to work with because first you have to transform them in rebel, and then they are able to face the anger. Okay, because they are in such a denial of their anger. Okay, that, it's like a Stockholm syndrome, okay? They are happily a slave, okay? But after some time, you have to work a lot, but after some time, yes, the anger come up. And at that point, it's like the first victory. And later on, okay, they face their anger, they befriend their anger, they trust themselves, they love themselves, and they are psychologically independent. They don't need the validation of their parents anymore.
Okay. So how would you correlate burnout and being psychologically independent?
So burnout is you have no bridge between your feeling space and your thinking space. So you are depleted of energy. Okay. So you cannot be independent, psychologically independent, if you cut the bridge between your 2 spaces, because it's like you have a perpetual internal conflict. Okay? One brain says so, the other brain says so. So I don't know. I cannot take an opinion, a decision, because I have 2 opinions in myself. Okay? When you build the bridge again between your 2 brains, they are able to work in synergy. And you have one opinion, your opinion. It can be not the best opinion, but it's yours. You can take information from other people, but you have your opinion. So you are able to decide for yourself, by yourself. Okay? So this is the link between depletion of energy, burnout, and what is it between the feeling space and the thinking space. When I say feeling space and thinking space, it's like I say the work of the gut brain and the work of the head brain. Okay, if they work in synergy, the flow of vital energy is going fine, so you're fine. Mm-hmm. You have the motivation to go on with your own project.
Very nice. So, where should midlifers start when they feel that they're in burnout? What is the first step that they have to do?
I will say, take a moment to reflect on your own life. What is important in your life? Okay. If you leave your health for your job, okay, is it really, is it good for you to forget yourself to the point to get sick and almost zombie for a job? Maybe there is something more important, like taking care of yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay, so stop, reflect on your life. What is important for yourself? Okay, and after that, I will say, take my small book, read it, use it. Okay, so it will help you to be present in your own life. Okay, it will help you to get your power back again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And using it at least for 3 months. Okay, if you see that, okay, I'm better, but I still find I need some help, so come and we talk. But I think for some people it will be enough. Mm-hmm. Okay, some people, they will see, oh, okay, I changed my life. You know, a lot of people change their life. Mm-hmm. They decide, yes, it was nice, but now I need something else. Maybe I need not to get me crazy every day about transaction, online business, or anything. Okay? What is important? I'm working like a donkey every day, but my family is never with me. My wife is getting tired of myself. Yeah, maybe you have to find another way to live before you lose your family.
So it's down to priorities. How you want to play it.
You have one life, you know. Sometimes we begin to work, we go on with it without even thinking about it. Okay, it was a good opportunity, so I took it, and now I'm here after 10 years. What do I really want? Mm-hmm. Okay? Is it really life? Working 10 hours every day, seeing my wife sometimes and my children even less? No, I don't think so. Hmm? Okay, maybe you say my career is more important because I can build something. Yeah, when you die, you will not take anything with you. Okay? Most important is the time you can share with your loved one. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Veronique. I would really like to ask you, where can our viewers and listeners reach out to you? What's your webpage? Where's the best place to look for?
Okay, so I have a website called psychologyexperts.online. Mm-hmm. And on the website, you can download the ebook I spoke about, which is called 3D Human Therapy, a user guide to who you are. So this is how you can find yourself, okay, using very simple tools I describe here, okay? It's how you can understand your inner world and boost your well-being. And it works. So you have no reason not to try, at least.
Veronique, thank you for all these insights. I think many of us will have to listen to the podcast multiple times to get a hang of all the details.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.